this, my friends, is the Santa Cruz. It's a smaller version of the Big Sur with a few crucial differences. So let's go on a walk around. So the Santa Cruz has all the same sort of stuff as the Big Sur. In the glove compartment, you've got the registration here and the insurance. You've also got your accident report, really important to have that in every single vehicle that we send out. We've got the tire pressure gauge, of course, and an atlas should GPS or sat-nav go down. Then we have the escape plan. Again, really important to read that from cover to cover to know your company. And here we have the renter's guide, which has the assistance number on it. And of course, that's really handy to give out to people on their travels. Let's move to the bed section. Okay, now a crucial difference between the Big Sur and the Santa Cruz is that the bed stays down in the Santa Cruz. That makes your job all the easier when you're demoing and doing the walk around for this particular vehicle. That stays down the whole time. There's some nice storage space in here, and it's really important to get the hang of how these drawers go in and out. You just give it a nice pull there, and then it comes out, and to get it back in, you just give it a push. Handy bit of storage space. We always suggest to customers that they bring soft bags with them on their travels because it's easier then for the storage. And of course, there's some more storage space back here. If they hire out chairs, for example, those will slot in there smoothly. Now finally, you've got the curtain section, which again, just have this Velcro strapping. You can just pull that back and have some nice privacy whilst you're on your journey. And we do recommend to customers that if they're staying in one space for a long time, they should close these curtains when they're out on their adventures, away from the van. Just adds a little bit of security. The gas for the Santa Cruz is on the passenger side, and as with the Big Sur, you're putting regular gas in there, regular only. So let's move to the back of the van. Okay, now we're at the back end of the Santa Cruz, and there are a couple of differences between this and the Big Sur. The cooler works in exactly the same way. If the customer's going straight off on their travels that day, then you can just turn that on for them and put that up to about halfway. That will cool down nicely. Okay, so this is where things change slightly. We have this middle section here, slightly different from the Big Sur. We've got a standalone camper stove, and this opens up. It's really important to remember that when you're demoing this part of the product, you need to turn this part around in order for them to use the gas stove. The gas goes in exactly the same way, but this needs to be turned around and faced upwards, otherwise you can have burning issues. Really important to remind your customers that they need to let this system cool down for at least 15 minutes before they put it back into the compartment. Do let it cool down before you even touch it, because that thing's going to get really hot. Once it has cooled down for at least 15 minutes, you can flip this back over, close the case, pop it back in, and hey presto, you're done. Now moving on to the sink section, which again is pretty different in style and look to the Big Sur sink and tap. The water fill-up point is here instead of on the side of the van. This just pops up like so, and the pumping mechanism for this, for the water, is like this. As you can see, the water's coming out pretty much straight away and cleanly. Now, if they want to get rid of their grey water, all they do is they flick this little lever here will get rid of the grey water for them. So it's a very simple system and it works beautifully. And then you just pop this and it's straight back in. Lovely and clean, works beautifully, very simple, just important for the customers to understand the essentials. Two more important elements out the back. Firstly, the handy solar powered light, which is great for cooking out in the countryside when it can be quite dark. This solar power light obviously takes its energy from the sun, so you can use that as much as you like. But again, as with the Big Sur, using the lights in the cabin, you need to be a little bit more careful because they run off the battery at the front of the car. And in the unlikely event that you are to break down, then you need to let the customers know that the breakdown kit is down there in the side. You just need to lift the mattress and all the stuff is back there.